The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The De Los Santos Medical Center continues its vaccination drive this week, and the hospital's oldest doctor, who is 91 years old, was finally able to get inoculated against COVID-19 with the ASTRAZENECA shot. Let's get more details on the ground with Laila Pangilinan. She's reporting live from Quezon City. Good afternoon, Laila. What do you have for us?
Charles, the De Los Santos Medical Center is now in its second week of inoculation, and this time around, the hospital is using vaccines from Oxford AstraZeneca. The facility aims to inoculate 500 of its employees and doctors over a 4-day period, giving at least 125 shots per day. Health Secretary Francisco Duque himself administered the first set of vaccination at the hospital using AstraZeneca shots. The first recipients were Dr. Nilo de los Santos, the facility's Vice President for Medical Affairs and Chief Medical Officer, and Elizabeth Dantes, the hospital's President and CEO. De los Santos Hospital also vaccinated their oldest doctor, who is turning 92 years old this year. Dr. Restituto Buenviaje, an OB-GYN that has been with the hospital since it opened, says no one is never too old to get vaccinated. During the event, Duque reminded medical frontliners not to be complacent even though vaccines are now available for them. The health secretary stressed that the best defense against the virus is still following the minimum health and safety protocols. The health department says it has already distributed around 460,000 vaccines, both for AstraZeneca and Sinovac, all over the country. Almost 37,000 shots have been administered in around 170 vaccination sites. Charles, during the event, Health Secretary Duque says that they will be closely be in touch with the LGUs to prepare for the upcoming Holy Week. Duque said that they are anticipating an influx of tourists that could potentially increase the number of positive cases further. That's the latest here, Charles.
Thank you, Laila Pangilinan, reporting live from Quezon City. The Defense Department says more military personnel are now willing to receive Sinovac shots. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Secretary Delfin Lorenzana said soldiers who initially refused to get vaccinated with Sinovac are now starting to change their minds as COVID-19 cases continue to rise. These include health workers in military hospitals. The AFP earlier said that soldiers who refuse to get the Sinovac vaccine will have to pay for the shots that they prefer.
Karamihan doon sa mga umayo nung una ay papayag na dahilan sa itong pag-spike na naman ng mga infection at medyo natakot siguro. Kaya pati nga yung mga health workers ng veterans na ayaw pa sana, naghihintay sila ng ibang bakuna. Pero nung pabalita na tumataas yung bilang ay nagpabakuna na rin sila.
The B.1.1.7 variant of COVID-19 from the United Kingdom is far deadlier than previous dominant variants. This was confirmed in a UK study published in the British Medical Journal on Wednesday. The study found that the UK variant is 30 to 100% deadlier than other variants. Researchers say that coupled with its ability to spread rapidly, the B.1.1.7 variant is a threat that should be taken seriously. We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. Still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Senate has started discussing the spate of killings in the country. And during the session, Senator Richard Gordon reminded the police force of their duty to investigate and not kill suspects. To give us more details, Jen Calimon is joining us live from Malabon. Jen, what was the PNP's response to the reminders from Senator Gordon?
Yes, Charles, the Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights is currently doing its investigation in aid of legislation about several issues pertaining to policemen involved in crimes. According to Senator Richard Gordon, there have been many killings that happen in our country. Well, sadly, some police officers are involved in these killings. The PNP, on the other hand, said that they are saddened on this issue, but they reiterated that they do not tolerate such acts, especially if police officers are proven guilty.
Let's talk about the official numbers. How many unresolved heinous crimes were recorded by the PNP last year, and what kinds of crimes were committed?
Well, Charles, according to the data from PNP, the number of unsolved cases involving heinous crimes reached 1,877 from January to December 2020. So these cases range from different criminal cases such as rape, murder, parricide, kidnapping, among others. Charles?
Right. Senator Gordon also spoke about having a special court to try cases that involve police officers. What was the judiciary's reaction to this?
Well, Charles, under Senate number 1828 or the Police Courts Act, there will be a special court in every provinces which can hear cases of killings or any violations involving policemen. So the victims would know where court they must go to, where they could follow up on their cases, and it would also be easier to trace the perpetrators. Well, according to Attorney Domingo Cayosa of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, there's also an advantage in putting up a special case or special courts for police, because judges can be given special trainings and knowledge by the Supreme Court, so cases will move faster. Trainings among judges include police protocols, tactics, and rules of engagement, and PNP operational procedure, including Philippine and international human rights law. Charles?
All right, that sounds like a good idea, but currently, how does the PNP deal with investigations of police cases?
Well, again, Charles, the PNP said that they do not condone such acts, and they have case monitoring in every cases filed, so they could track the progress of every cases. PNP also admits that there is a pressure in solving a case involving their co-policeman, but they insist that they have conducted internal cleansing within their institution, and they have a counterintelligence unit to look for scalawag policemen or those who are not diligent in their work. They're also reviewing why accused policemen fail to attend court hearings. Since this is a grave offense, administrative charges will be filed against a policeman who will refuse to attend court hearings.
Right, Jen, did we hear from the PNP about the issue of this certain Bukidnon police officer who was caught on camera planting a gun beside the drug suspect who was killed during operations?
Well, Charles, as for General Guillermo Eleazar of PNP regarding the case of an alleged encounter between a drug suspect and a policeman in Bukidnon, well, he said that the PNP has already conducted an investigation on the case, and that the PNP is open for any investigation by other agencies should they see any irregularities. Moreover, they also encourage the witnesses to reveal themselves for the speedy resolution of cases involving this particular policeman. Charles?
Yeah, we saw the footage just now. Could you tell us about any other salient points that were discussed during the session?
Charles, Senator Gordon is seeking clarification regarding the killing of Calbayog Mayor Ronaldo Aquino. Senator Gordon is not convinced that the mayor was involved in drugs, because if he was indeed involved in drugs, he shouldn't have been given police escorts in the first place. But apparently, Charles, two of his police escorts were also killed in the ambush, according to Gordon. The PNP said that they have already created a special investigation task group to solve the case, and the hearing is still ongoing. Ongoing. Thus, the schedule of the next hearing has not yet been mentioned. Charles?
All right, thanks for that, Jen. That was Jen Calimon reporting live from Malabon. coronavirus pandemic has exposed failures in the mental health system as people around the world are forced to stay indoors due to fear of the virus. Bloomberg's Fola Akinibi tells us more about this in her report.
The virus and the associated lockdowns have really taken a toll on people. You know, not being able to go outside, not being able to see friends, not being able to see family, not going into office, not exercising. All of that has really taken a toll on Americans' mental health, and it's the virus has sort of exposed and exacerbated issues that perhaps were already there. There's a December Census Bureau poll that found that 42% of U.S. adults were reporting symptoms of anxiety and depression, and that's fourfold over the year prior, right? And you know, EMS calls relating to behavioral and mental health have spiked, again, coinciding with the virus and associated lockdowns. And so, you know, people are stressed, and unfortunately, often the response to some of these EMS calls or to when people are facing crisis is the police, and often they are not the best people to respond to these issues.
Are other cities taking note as well and working on their own programs that either provide additional training or provide different professionals that may be better equipped for that?
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing across the U.S. Though it's, you know, scattershot, and it's here and there, right? There's no national model for this yet, but you know, cities like New York are going for models where they send clinicians, right? They're only sending EMTs and people who are experienced in dealing with mental health crises for some of these calls, and that is something that is modeled on a system that's in Eugene, Oregon, and they've been running that it's called Cahoots, and they've been running that for roughly 30 years now, and that's sort of the gold standard for mental health response. They've been sending clinicians out on these sorts of calls, and only I believe it's 1% of the time they have to call police for backup.
In quarantine. 12 months of battling the coronavirus. 12 months of living in a new normal. This March 14, One News brings together the people who helped shape the way we live in the year of pandemic. How have we managed? What we may have missed? Where are we headed? Some of the country's leading voices in the scientific and business communities face the nation as the Philippines balances public health and economy. Kumusta na ba tayo? A town hall in the time of pandemic. Moderated by Robbie Alampay and Cheryl Cosim. Join us live March 14, Sunday. We are One News.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join Sean Yao later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.